Hi everyone, today I'll be showing you how I make my butter chicken. This recipe featured on my Instagram, so I thought I'd bring it to YouTube to show you how to do it. All of the ingredients for this recipe will be down below in the description bar. So for the sauce I'll be using ginger, cumin, garam masala and coriander powder. I'll also be using the Kashmiri chili powder, some sugar, fenugreek powder and fresh coriander. The base of the sauce is tomatoes, onions, garlic, and at the end we'll be adding double cream. For the chicken you will need some ginger, cumin, garam masala, chili powder, turmeric and sugar. And here I also have my yogurt and chicken. So first I'm just dicing my chicken. You can dice the chicken however you want. Preferably you should keep it quite small so that it cooks through quickly and thoroughly. To my chopped chicken I'm adding salt, turmeric, Kashmiri red chili powder, garam masala, ginger and cumin. For extra flavour you can add some grated garlic. So now you just want to combine your yogurt. Your yogurt will help to produce a marinade and you should leave this in the fridge for approximately 30 minutes if you can. Many times I've used it straight away and it's been perfectly fine, but obviously the longer you leave it, the more flavoursome the butter chicken will be. When you're letting your chicken marinade, please cover with cling film and put in the fridge. Once you take your chicken out of the fridge, just stir it once more. So for this recipe, I usually use two pans. In one of the pans, I'm going to be making my sauce and the other one I'm going to be frying my chicken. Add some oil to your pan and make sure it's on a medium heat so that your onions don't burn when you add them. Okay, so just for clarification, the pot on the right is where we're going to be making our sauce. So you just want to saute your onions for approximately 3 minutes, ensuring that they don't burn. Then I just add my grated garlic, and if you're using fresh ginger, I would add it along in the recipe now. Let the garlic cook out just for a couple of minutes and then add your canned tomatoes to the mixture, and I usually leave this for approximately 5 minutes just so that the tomatoes can cook through and warm up before I start adding all of my spices. So for the sauce that we're producing, we're going to start adding our ground cumin, garam masala, ginger, ground coriander if you want to, red chili powder and sugar. I personally don't usually use coriander for this part just because at the end I add fresh coriander and for me that's more than enough, but if you're a coriander lover you can actually add some more at this point. So now all of my spices have been combined. I'm just going to stir the mixture gently all together. Again, make sure your temperature isn't too high because you don't want everything to begin to burn because it will ruin the overall flavour. In the meantime, I would just boil a kettle or something so that you've got hot water ready. So now to my other pot, I will be adding my chicken that was left to marinade. You can leave the chicken to cook whilst you're dealing with your sauce. This reduces the length of time that it takes to make the butter chicken as well, which is really useful. So as long as you've got a medium to low flame, you can monitor your chicken as often as you need to. Okay, so if you remember at the beginning of the video, we used so many spices for our sauce. So now we're just adding water so that one, it stretches a lot further, and two, it will be a lot easier to blend because you don't want this to be too thick. I'll be using the extra thick double cream at the end, so that thickens it up anyway. So now you can stir your chicken a little bit just to check again that the temperature isn't too high, and then we can move on to blitzing our sauce. So I'm just using a tea towel to hold the pot whilst I pour the tomato sauce into the jug. And then I literally just blitz it with a hand blender. You can use a food processor, it really doesn't matter. So now I'm returning back to my chicken, and ultimately that's absolutely perfect. You don't want it to be cooked right to the maximum just because it will continue to cook as it is so warm, and we'll be adding our sauce to it so it will cook through even more. I'm just sieving through the mixture to make sure that it's extra smooth. I don't really like my butter chicken to have any lumps or anything like that. You're just taking out ultimately the pulp of the tomatoes. And don't be worried to be quite forceful with the sieve just because, we don't want to waste any of the mixture, and we want to remove only the pulp. We need as much liquid as possible because, it contributes to the final outcome. Now your chicken and your sauce is combined. Grab your wooden spoon and just mix it through. So now I turn my temperature on a low flame and just mix through the sauce and the chicken just to make sure everything comes together nicely. Now I'm going to add my fenugreek powder, also known as methi powder. You can use either or, it doesn't matter, but the smell is absolutely phenomenal. Literally, this makes the dish. I feel like without this, you can definitely tell that something's missing. I'm now adding my double cream, and it's now become a little bit lighter in colour, and it's also so much more creamier. So now I'm just adding in my butter, which is quite imperative since we're making butter chicken. It adds so much flavour. Like if you taste it before and after, with and without the butter, it just makes it. So once you've melted in all your butter, if you taste it and you find that you might want it to be a little bit more spicy, you can still actually add your chili powder or cayenne pepper or whatever you have. But for me, when I tasted it, it was absolutely perfect, and I feel like the measurements in the description bar below will be the standard method to make butter chicken. So now you can add your coriander leaves to the dish, and it just adds that extra burst of flavour. It's so delicious. It's literally one of my family favourites. Everyone enjoys it, and I literally just had this with rice and some bread. Thank you so much for watching this YouTube video on how to make butter chicken. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This is literally one of my family favourites, and I hope it becomes one of yours. Please follow me on Instagram at Cypress Bait, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!